Possession. What is possession? What does it feel like to have possession over something? When you look at this slide, the majority of you will see the individual items above. You'll be able to name spoon, compass, chain, or coin when asked what you see, but the meaning behind those objects isn't able to be seen unless they're your own. To someone else, these objects signal who they are and who they want to be and where they want to belong. Note, I said who they want to be and where they want to belong. This identity in objects was founded by Jean Piaget in children as old as 2 years old. He discovered that at a young age, children make the assumption that whoever had it first is the forever owner of that object, hence the envy and selfishness and ownership that is exhibited throughout life, no matter the age. Experts refer to these attachment objects children latch onto as transitional objects. These objects aid the transition to independence in child's lives through all the changes they may experience. These toys will stand for that each phase in all the children's lives. Psychological studies show and wanted to see what would happen if a replica of the child's comfort toy was tried to be exchanged for the child's real toy, and the child refused to trade his or her object in for that same object. This shows experts that it is more than a physical attachment, but also an emotional attachment because of everything this toy has gone through with that said child. Materialism is found to reach the peak of existence during the ages of 8 to 18 in adolescence, when the self-esteem seems to be the lowest in one's life. Through this time period, material things reflect who the person is and how they themselves would like to be seen. Adolescent girls, for example, share clothing because they are not only sharing friendship, but also an identity and want to help each other search for themselves. Jerusalem College of Technology found research that by selecting and buying gifts for their friends, this helps adolescents, teenagers, achieve a sense of identity independence from their parents. The scientists gathered information that the younger population saw digital possessions were extensions of themselves, which is why Instagram has been such a hit with this generation. Furthermore, adolescent guys and some girls like myself find their sense of transition into adulthood in their first car as their main symbol. My car has been an extension of myself and how much time I take to wash, wax, and care for it. It is not only teaching responsibility, but also it's a material that helps boost my self-esteem and identity. Anyone that has ever fallen in love with a car or an object knows this feeling, as crazy as it sounds to some people. As we grow as a person and experience things in life or a loss of an experience, our belongings accumulate with our identities. Picture for a second how you would feel if your house burned down and you lost all of your belongings in the fire. Most people respond that they would feel a grieving loss or in a sense of lost identity. This occurs because of the emotional meaning those objects had in their life. These objects are, like I said before, our everything when it comes to shaping who we are and how we want people to see us. And when that is lost, it's a familiar feeling to what losing who you are and have become is. When I moved my 6th grade year to a new town and I began to pack my life into a box, I noticed a feeling of a fresh start along with lots of fear. Looking at the boxes stacked in my room, I felt as if I was seeing my life packed up and being changed into something I haven't ever known before. I also noticed that as I moved and began my new lifestyle and my new home, items that I felt attachment to became less of an importance. This is because as I grew and I was changed into this new person, my identity and my things changed along with me. As our lives go on, our sense of selfhood and identity becomes more of an external receptacles for the memories, relationships, and travels. How much we see our things as an extension of ourselves all depends on how confident we feel in our own skin without objects. A group of adults were brought together and were told to draw a picture of their physical experience and appearance. All of the adults drew pictures of their belongings to describe who they were. This showed that adults, much like children, do find identity in their things, as if reflecting on their things restores a fragile ego of themselves. It was shown at Kellogg School of Management that workers that felt powerless in their job were more willing to pay for high-status products to compensate for their self-esteem. Older people don't just form bonds with specific belongings. But they also have affection for brands from their youth too. These attachments to our own things have shown to deepen as life goes on and time passes. Elderly people often surround themselves with possessions and have followed them through good times and bad. These items hold such meaning to older people because most of their friends and family are gone, so it's the items that can bring back the memories and the comfort. These cherished possessions provide a link to memories, relationships, and former selves. This helps foster a sense of continuity. In today's society, the generations coming into adolescence and adulthood now do not have such a need for purchasing an item to associate ourselves with it, because we can simply tweet about it or post things to Facebook that we aspire to be and prefer and remember. When I asked what possession was, I wanted to see what kind of answer you would have, what kind of items you would list. As adults and people in general, we want to possess things because it makes us feel greater in that sense. As wrong as it might sound to some, we as humans like to feel in charge of things. It gives us that extra confidence and boost. It's something we can see and we can feel and we can touch. It's not something internal. It's a representation of what we are. And as some may see that as a bad thing, it is shown that this is a way of growing and what growing looks like. So as you grow throughout life, you're going to accumulate items, and that's okay. It's a sense of developing a greater you.